Live from an island that PETA is well aware of, it's Malignant Bear, featuring me, JD Grospitz. Hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. Tonight we're getting set for Valentine's Day by trying to find the perfect date. Get it? Because it's a game about cats. I was searching high and low, far and wide, for a potential silly visual novel to play, something kind of tongue-in-cheek and goofy, preparing for Valentine's Day, and there's quite a lot of them out there. But this one was in my library and jumped out at me. It has a very interesting art style, we'll go with. Not quite sure what to make of it, but it came out a couple years ago. I don't know much about it, other than you play as a person who is turned into a cat on an island of presumably other people who have also been turned into cats. I don't think it's like you're a person going after actual cats, because that would be all sorts of wrong. I think it's you're people going after each other who happen to be cats at the moment. It's not, like, risque or anything like that. It's all totally safe for work and just kind of silly and fun. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. It's a game about cats. Why not? And it looks like this. We're in for a good time with that logo and the bright pink background, of course. This is a visual novel, and in a first, at least for visual novels that I have played, there is a how to play section, which is kind of interesting. So you can progress the story by hitting either the space or enter buttons. Alternatively, you can progress the story by left-clicking here. Okay, down in the text block there. If you're feeling a little too spicy, you can even progress the story by left-clicking this icon. What do you mean, feeling too spicy? What? Oh no. Rest to restore your health. Running out of hearts may have consequences. Is that what that means? Finishing 3 research events will result in the completion of your contract, ending your current chapter. So make sure you've done everything you want before finishing your research for the professor. Keep an eye out for anything odd. Curiosity may have killed the cat, but it may lead you to some fun extra activities. Or I added some extra words there, it doesn't matter. We've stalled enough, it's time. Okay, no progress. 0% of game seen, 0 of 18 endings, oh my god. Okay. Alright, so we gotta pick. Just pick us, I guess? Okay. So we'll just be this guy. Grospitz. Alright. I'm ready. Autosave. This game supports an autosave feature. Please don't turn off your game while it's saving. What? Why do you have a choice in the matter? That's kind of weird. Chapter 1. I don't know if this game has voice work. It doesn't right now. I'm not sure how long we've been sailing, but it feels like forever. I'm not feeling too well now, so it's a huge relief to hear the deck lad shout. Island approach, make yourself ready. I'm finally here. When I applied last month, I was just another broke student living off of baked beans. Didn't really think I had a chance of being accepted to be part of the prestigious Cat Island research team. Ooh. Yet here it is, this little black dot in the distance growing bigger by the second. It's the famous Cat Island, a place where I'll call home for the next few months. Oh, it's that? It's that squiggle. That's not a dot. My heart momentarily skips a beat. What if it's been a mistake? What if they accepted someone else's application and accidentally sent the offer to me? Rummage about in my bag until I find the papers. Dear Grospitz, we're pleased to be able to offer you the position of assistant researcher to Professor Purrfect at our research facility on Cat Island. The position will be for an initial period of 8 weeks. Your contract will be sent separately. We look forward to working with you. Yours sincerely, Professor Purrfect, PhD, and a whole bunch of other things. No mistake, that's my name. Right there in the top left corner, Grosspitz. And there's his name at the bottom, the genius behind the whole operation. Professor Popper, science genius and my new boss. Look up from my papers, see dry land rapidly approaching before us. It seems to be surrounded by a huge barrier of impenetrable black rocks. As we get closer, we're not slowing down. I begin to worry that we're going to crash into them. Then, at the very last moment, we take a sharp turn to the left, and suddenly, we're sailing smoothly towards a jetty through an opening in the rocks. I blow out the breath that I've been holding and break into a smile. Nicely done, Skipper! The ferryman comes out from behind the steering wheel, ignoring my attempts at camaraderie, and shouts rather brusquely. Take your belongings, we'll be back for days, so don't leave anything you don't need. Thank you. He looks like the other guy. I think it's the nose. They have the exact same nose. Smile weakly at the ferryman and his... Oh, because it's father and son. Okay, that makes sense. Pick up my bags, ready to disembark. We glide seamlessly up to the wooden jetty, and the son leaps ashore to tie us off. He's greeted by a bulky man in a uniform, who I take to be a security officer of some kind. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they're very similar noses. Joe? Sir, cut your mouse. Then he laughs loudly as though he said the funniest thing he's ever heard. It's very disconcerting. Security guard remains surly and turns his attention to me. Wish I had a soundboard, then I would play the goofy Titus laugh from Final Fantasy X for that. Oh well, maybe someday. Let's be having you then. Holds out his large hand, which I assume is an offer to help me off the boat, but as I reach out to take it, he snatches it away, throwing me off balance so that I almost fall over the side. What a great start. ID card? I like that in his little picture down here, he's got kind of like the Jay Leno going, but not so much up here. Why wouldn't you just take this and put it there, or vice versa? I'm a little confused. Oh, I see, of course. Reach into my back pocket and hand over the laminated card I was given on the mainland. Okay. Can I do anything with this? No. He barely looks at it before striding off, grunting over his shoulder. This way. Follow him down a dirt track path and get my first proper view of the island. It's beautiful, lush and green. I'm already under its spell. After no more than a couple minutes trekking, we're in base camp, which consists of an assortment of tents and huts. Among them are two more solid-looking structures, one larger, one smaller. I presume these are the labs. The whole camp is moderate but functional. It reminds me of an army outpost. Struck by the lack of people. In fact, there's no one around apart from an older woman sitting outside, peeling a pile of potatoes. I smile and give her a little nod, but she just stares back at me. I try not to get paranoid. Here. He stopped at the largest of the tents, indicating that I should go inside. I feel rude just walking in, so I make my presence known first. Hello? A firm but friendly voice calls out. Come. Damn, bro, you live like this? Walk in, and there he is, hunched over some documents. The great Professor Popper. Sir, it's an honor to meet you. Yes, you must be Grosspitz. Come on in, my dear. Glad to have you on board. Good journey? My dear, wow, you were cruising for a meeting with HR there, Professor. Well, long? Yes, indeed, we're rather tucked away here. Let me first offer you some refreshment. Water, coffee, something stronger, perhaps? Whiskey? I'd love a cup of tea if there's a pot on the go. Yeah, that sounds fine. Oh, I can tell you're new. The tea here tastes like cat's piddle. You really don't want to drink it. What? That sounds like a you problem. Why would you have terrible tea? Just get better tea. Pours me a cup of coffee from the canteen instead. It's a good thing I like coffee. Take you a while to find your way around here and discover how this all works. So for today, I thought I would just get you kitted out. Is that... Are they going for the cat puns? Other than his name? Maybe introduce you to some of the locals. The cats, that is. I believe you've already met most of the human locals. Oh, I've only met the ferryman. Security guard who brought me here. Yes, that's about it. And the lady outside? Oh, Ms. Marigold. Her and her husband are the caretakers. Wonderful couple, the Marigolds. You'll meet them before too long. We're a tidy little family here, Grospitz, and I'm sure you'll fit in nicely. Thank you, sir. I hope so. Okay, first things first. This is your basic kit. Begins going through a pile of things on his desk, explaining each of them in turn. It's your backpack. You can put everything in it. We're going on plenty of field trips, so it'll be very useful. As will your own water bottle, some disinfectant hand spray, these heavy-duty reinforced gloves, which are essential when tagging cats out in the wild. Don't want any scratches from felines we don't know, now do we? I suppose not. I shove each item into my new backpack as he gives them to me. Likewise, these goggles were brought along on field trips. This lot here? He indicates to a small pile of what looks like laundry. His basic uniform, lab coats, masks, stethoscope, etc. Portable first aid kit, camping knife with all the tool attachments. Finally, and without doubt, most importantly, this. That's a Pokedex. We're ready. He holds something up that looks like a mobile phone, except it clearly isn't one. This is your catalog. Really? That's too obvious. Catalog? Yes, the name comes from its earliest version. It was initially designed to record and store data on the cats, scan them and log their details. But as you see, we've come a long way since then. Now you can use it to communicate with the rest of your team. I've added everyone's contact details for you. Listen to music, take photos. Who's the team? It's just like, there's like 4 people here. There's even a pen that comes with it to insert microchips into the back of the cat's neck so that we can keep track of them. It's a very valuable piece of equipment, Grospitz, and I need you to protect it above all else. Do you understand? I can't get over how messy your tent is. Looks me directly in the eye and clearly expects a response. Yes, sir, of course, I will look after it. Good, you'll get to know all the functions as you go along, but for now I suggest you take a stroll out and see if we can't find a few friends to introduce you to that you can try it out. Hands me the gadget. I feel a bit nervous taking charge of it, but also really keen to have a go. We head down to the beach, the professor explaining things as we go. Mixture of terrain on Cat Island is very unique. Even in such a relatively small area, you'll find forests, mountains, jungles, beaches, woodland, all of these different geological and ecological zones in one place. It really is most remarkable. It certainly is. Even lack of wildlife is, in and of itself, quite remarkable. What do you mean, Professor? Well, put simply, there's a type of force field that surrounds the island, disallowing anything to enter. How very scientific of you. I mean, literally anything? No? We got here? Absolutely, no birds, fish, or creatures of any kind can penetrate it. Forgive my lack of intelligence on this subject, but, we're here. Professor lets out a disconcertingly loud laugh. Ha! I see what you mean. Well, there is, of course, one small break in this invisible wall, and that is where we built the jetty. Let's not get too bogged down in all this right now. What you need to do know is that basically the island is shaped like a peanut. He's picked up a nearby stick and draws a simple map in the sand. This, our end of the island, is very well known to us. We've been researching here for many years. The other end is not so familiar to us. We've encountered difficulties that have hindered our progress in the region. What? What was that? What kind of difficulties, Professor? Well, not as sure as we'd like to be, but what I can tell you is that the environment has an adverse effect upon humans, including nausea at the very least. And at the worst? Fainting, migraines, possible nerve damage. Gosh, that is serious. As I say, it's best to keep away, but let's not go into all that now, my dear. Again with that, it's just... It's gonna be a pretty easy HR case. Had a long day. For now, let's just say we refer to the far end of the island as the danger zone. Kenny Loggins. With good reason. I must ask you not to put yourself at risk by venturing beyond this mountain range here. First to the map once more, drawing a line just past the center and an X through the end section. There are wild, aggressive cats out there. Wouldn't want you getting too close to them. Unlike our lovely fellows closer to home. Have we seen any cats yet? It's led me to a spot where a few cats are lounging about. You say we try out your catalog now, Grospitz? Stoops down and picks up one of the animals, a disgruntled-looking cat who was sleeping under the shade of a palm tree. Cat lets out a displeased meow, but doesn't struggle. Its large body, billowing with large orange furs, just sort of hangs in the professor's arms in lazy resignation. I'd like to have a go at scanning this delightful chap. Find the on switch and somewhat timidly activate it. The gadget immediately comes to artificial life, emitting a boop 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 sound with a red pulsating light. It's like the app labeled CAT scan, and it loads. Really? I mean, I guess it makes sense, but come on, man. Loads instantly. There's no delay in this thing. The professor holds the cat towards me with its arms outstretched. I'm sure he said the scanning chip is implanted in the back of the neck somewhere, but it's difficult to find this one's neck amidst the thick cloud of fur. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't be here if we don't know where the necks of things are. I don't care how big it is. It's still pretty obvious. I blow to make a parting and press the catalog to his skin. It's a bit like scanning groceries in the supermarket where I used to work. Okay. That should do it. He plops the marmalade tom back in the shade. Sure enough, upon withdrawal, I find the cat has been successfully scanned. Floofy butt. Meow. Okay. Male cat, 10 years old, 4 months, a red tabby, Persian. Okay. Eye color red. Amazing! Clever, isn't it? Large part of your job here will be to tag and scan the cats, such as Mr. Floofybutt here. Looks like you have no problems at all in that area. Excellent work, Grospitz. Thank you, sir. I can't wait to get started. Well, why don't you get a bit more practice with the catalog and scan the rest of them while we're here? These 5 spend a lot of time together. They're like a little family, aren't you? Oh, yes you are. Professor seems to be a genuine cat lover like me. I think we're going to go on great. Okay, here goes. No help this time. Professor steps back. First cat I approach is very friendly. Beautiful calico markings. It comes towards me, already purring. Meow. Is that supposed to be the arms there? It's very T-Rex-like. Okay. It's the great and powerful Trixie. 3 years, 8 months. Calico, American short hair. Eye color green. You can really tell. Next is an elegant, sleek, hairless cat sitting gracefully in the sun. She doesn't pay me much attention and allows me to scan her with minimal fuss. Snooty booty, as opposed to floofy butt. 11-year-old cat, a sphinx, blue eyes, okay. The 4th cat I approach is a noisy one. Meow, 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 meow. Okay, McMurphy, there's a good cat name. 6 years even, okay. Brown crossbreed, green eyes. A lot of green-eyed cats here. Finally, the one I've deliberately put off until last. He's been skulking around the edges of the activity, eyeing me suspiciously, so that we could pounce at any moment. I laugh at myself already projecting personalities onto these animals. Tss, kibbles. Why do they all have green eyes? Only one of them had blue, I think. Oh no, Floofy Boot had red. 3-year white British long hair. Okay. All done. Hope you've enjoyed meeting some of the locals. Professor lets out a little laugh. I have a feeling you'll get to know them quite well in time. Probably enough for your first day, don't you think? It's quite a lot to take in. Been working for like 10 minutes, bro. Wow, this job's really easy. I'm suddenly exhausted and grateful to be heading back to camp. Didn't we just drink coffee, too? We've been drugged. It's quite late by the time I've unpacked and settled myself, but I want to write my journal entry before I sleep. Surprised at how chilly it is, I pulled my sleeping bag right up to my chin, but I still feel goose pimples bloom over my arms. Shivering, I rub them to warm myself up. It makes me smile to think that this inherent reaction to the cold is what will be keeping my new feline friends warm tonight. My eyelids close, thinking of cats and the island and the professor. The world around me drifts away as I float up into a dream. Not sure how long I've been asleep, but I wake with a violent jolt that leaves me bolting upright. It's too dark to see anything, but I hear a rustling and then a strange electronic noise, one that in my sleepy confusion I can't place right away. Oh no. The catalog. Acting on instinct, I scramble to my feet and follow the noise out of the tent. Look around me and my fears are confirmed when I catch sight of the pulsing red light getting fainter in the direction of the forest. Snap in action, running as fast as I can, barefoot, dressed in my pajamas, running at full speed in the forest in the dark of night. Yeah, that's a good idea. Was he crazy? Words of Professor Purrfect ringing in my ears. Need you protected above all else. My legs are trembling beneath me. I stop, feeling my heartbeat heavy throughout my body. I wheeze in and out, my breath billowing in front of me in white puffs. It's a lot of cat statues and things. Shouldn't feel this way. Why am I so dizzy? I try to get my bearings and realize I've blundered perilously close to the danger zone. Almost like you were on a highway to it. Oh my god. There's even a bone there. Just make out the shapes of some large animals in front of me before my eyes close and I drop to my knees. Open my eyes. The calico cat I scanned yesterday is sitting in front of me. She drops the catalog at my feet. I pass out. Uh-oh. I have to come up with voices for all the cats. I've got a choice here now. Floofy butt. What does floofy butt sound like? I don't know. I was thinking of maybe Wilford Brimley, but I don't know that I want to do that for a long period of time. Just go generic old man. Hello, can you hear me? You okay? I can't remember which one. Or Kibbles was the mean one, right? I think. What is it? Don't be ridiculous, Kibbles. It's a human. Oh yeah, yuck. I can smell it now. It smells like a human. Oh, do be quiet. I don't... Why are these little pictures so bizarre and, like, not... Like, they have this art and then also this art. I don't understand. Are they alive? Of course it's alive. It's breathing, you imbecile. Why isn't it moving? Would you come on and give them some space? Move back a bit. Yes, stand back. Move out of my way. Let me have a proper look. I begin to come to. The Sphinx cat is standing over me as I open my eyes. We stare at each other for a moment while I try to take in what's happening. Is this one defective? Oh, I feel sick. I'm gonna puke. Cats watch me intently. Am I going insane? Oh, my head. What is it chattering about? They're scared and confused. Let me talk to them. Human? Are you alright? You, I remember. You took my catalog. Oh, but I gave it back to you. It's back in your pocket now. Reach into my pocket and realize my hands are scratched to shreds. Yeah, that sounds about right. Ow, 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 ow. What's with my hands? Try to stand. Ow, my feet. What happened to me? Yeah, I guess that's from all the climbing. I told you it wasn't ready for that. What's that? Ready for what? Its anatomical structure is far too delicate. I tried to slow it down. Yeah, Floof, you try restraining a human who's that determined. It was like a margay. Its anatomical structure didn't seem that delicate to me. It was like a what? Doing what? You made your own way back to the beach. Okay, but that doesn't explain... Show my bleeding hands. You crawled, Kara. Oh, they really went for it, huh? McMurphy's an Irish cat? Okay. I guess that explains the name. Kara? Who's Kara? That's not my name. It's a term of endearment. It's an Irish thing. It's inappropriate. Wait, I crawled? Sure did. I'm not gonna do an Irish accent. Like a cat? Yep. All the way from the mountains. Like a bleeding mountain lion. Impressive. But why? Because you got the sickness. Ooh, no, shh. Maybe you should sit down, human. We need to have a talk. Possibly a long talk. Oh my god. Talk, yeah, that's right. Since when can cats talk? Well, for goodness sake, since the dawn of time, how else do you think we communicate? Okay, I'm warming up to the portraits because the faces change. Ah, stop splitting whiskers, Major. You know full well what the human's saying. I think the revelation here, Kara, is that you can understand us. Yes, that too. Will someone please explain what the hell's going on here? Well, we don't fully understand everything ourselves, at least not all the details of how this works. So wait, I thought we got turned into a cat. I thought that was the gist of this. Maybe it's only at night. Maybe we're a werecat. I think being stood in a forest surrounded by a bunch of talking cats is about as much detail as anybody would want. Agree, and more to the point, we are rather hoping you would be able to help us. You are the scientist, after all. Clearly. We do know as the clock has started ticking for you. Oh my god. What do you mean? There's no easy way to say this to you. You'll be catified. Okay, so it's coming later. I'll be what? Whether you help or not, you don't have a lot of time before... Ahem, if I may. It would seem we are basing this on experiences to date. When a human manages to find themselves in what I believe you call the danger zone, they're vulnerable in ways that previously were not. That is to say, you're screwed. You're not helping, don't make me... Sssss. Whoa, mountain lion, there'll be no violence of any kind. Forgive me for being a bit panicked here. The vulnerability to which Snooty Booty was referring... Come on. Was referring to, simply put, if you are bitten or scratched by an elder cat within the danger zone, you'll begin a process of change that will ultimately result in a full feline transition. Of course. So yeah, this is just straight up werewolf stuff. Lycanthropy, but with cats. Catified. So basically you're telling me I'm a werecat? Oh my god. I look down, and in amongst the scratches on my right hand are two distinct puncture marks. The reality of my situation descends on me like a cold mist. Basically. Yes. My head is spinning. This is too much for me to take in. Take a breath now, Kara. You're not looking so good. What? Have I started to change? I feel my head, ears, fur, everything seems to be normal. No. Just meant you're looking a bit shaky. Understandably so. Take a few deep, steady breaths and calm myself enough to say, okay, so what? Give me some data. What have you got so far? Yes, of course. The cats have been collecting a lot of data. Look, we'll answer anything we can, but the truth is we have more questions than answers ourselves. So, you said you need my help. What exactly would that entail? Well, finding our friends would be a start. The cats on this island, they're going missing. We don't know what's happening to them, and the body count is rising. We've hit a wall. A wall of ignorance, maybe. Really, how many times do I have to tell you? The Muellers are to blame. Oh my god, there's a gang of rival cats. Muellers? Is this like Warriors? Are we gonna have to read like 30 books to figure out what happens? Now, Fluffybutt, there's no need for name-calling. That's even what they call each other? Speaking of name-calling, I'll remind you to call me Major, madam. Look, they can't help the way they are. It's a lack of breeding, you know? Overbreeding, if you ask me. Again, Muellers? They're the elder cats, the island originals. They can't speak the way we can, hence the derogatory term, Muellers. Ah. And how are they to blame, exactly? Well, if I knew that, there would have been no need for this elaborate kidnapping. How did you kidnap us? It's hardly proving to be a roaring success, after all. Look, Kara, all we really know is we're no longer safe on this island. The elders who live within the danger zone are hostile towards us. Not sure why, it's just always been that way. And now, because cats are being taken, nowhere else is safe either. Expect the occasional mishap. We live in an undomesticated world here, after all. But lately, cats have been disappearing almost every day. Even the last human we catified went missing. Wait, you did this? I'm sorry, what? Let's not open old wounds, Kibbles. Yes, onwards and upwards. Well, first things first, this werecat thing. Catification. Transition. Whatever. How does it work? Time passes, then you transform into a cat. Yeah. It's a gradual process. It's different for everyone, but you won't just turn overnight. The clock is ticking, however. The first side effect of the transition is being able to understand us. Well, some of us. Not the elders, obviously. Not all domestics either. Then you have the whole heightened senses thing with the increased agility, crazy body hair stuff. Let's not worry the human with the details just yet. Assume there's an antidote. I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed in that assumption. Hang on, you said there was someone else who you put in this position? Well, let's hope you're a better bet than they were. Unfortunately, they weren't able to discover an antidote or get our friends back. And know where their notes are, though. Really? Trade? Huh? You help us and we'll give their progress reports. What do you say? Will you help it? Is this really a choice? I feel like we're just kind of screwed if we pick the other one. Why is that even an option? Help the kitties. Not really much of a choice, is it? Afraid not. Okay, fine. So, where do I start? Is there anything you can tell me that will help me track down your missing friends? No one listen to sense. Start with the Muellers, and I'll eat my hat if it doesn't end there, too. Don't mind him. He's just set in his ways. We have every reason to believe the abductions take place in your part of the island. Yes, nowhere near the danger zone or the elders. That doesn't make sense. Suppose nothing around this place does. The catalog. Oh, my alarm. I have to get to work. You run along now. We don't want you rousing suspicions with your people. You can meet with us later. Make sure those reports are in your tent before this evening. Thanks, you're 1 in a million. Imagine the odds are far greater than that given your new health status. Go. And thanks from all of us. We haven't done anything. It's a rather painful journey. I'm grateful to finally limp into camp. I have just enough time to get myself tidied up for work, and I'm about to peel off my filthy pajamas when I hear my catalog beeping. I have a message, but I can't tell who it's from. It's not from any of the contacts that Professor Pauper programmed into it. In fact, there's no contact information at all. He's the villain. He's for sure the villain. He's already harassed us. You sure it is wise to trust everyone, anyone? What? That's not my car's extended warranty. What on earth does that mean? Who is this? There's a lot you don't know. Think carefully about who you confide in. I haven't confided in anybody yet. Before I can think of a reply, the messages are gone and my catalog has no record of them. Don't have time to think about this right now. I need to get ready. As soon as I'm presentable, I head over to the lab. 10 minutes late, it doesn't give a good impression on my first morning. Oh, Grosp, it's good to see you. I was beginning to worry. Did you oversleep on your first day? Terribly sorry, sir. I think the traveling and all the excitement of yesterday. I take punctuality very seriously. He cuts across my apology. Not to worry, it's perfectly understandable. You'll find I'm quite relaxed about most things. As long as you get the work done, I don't mind what hours you keep. Thank you, sir. So, shall we get started? My goodness, what on earth happened to you? I was looking at the scratches all over my hands. Oh, I fell and tried to save myself by grabbing onto a bush. Not a secret drinker, are you, Grospitz? No, sir, I'm a bit of a lightweight, to tell you the truth. Just teasing. Way to get those hands sorted, though. They look pretty nasty to me. Goes to a tall metal cabinet in the corner and takes out a bottle and some cotton wool. Begins cleaning and tending to my hands while he talks. For today, I'd like you to help me with a few tasks around the lab to get the hang of things. But from tomorrow, I'll let you make your own choices about how to best carve up your time. Of course, you're primarily here to carry out your journey as my research assistant. However, try to make the most of your time on the island. Once your work is completed, we'll be saying goodbye. This really is once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so don't waste it all in the lab. Naturally, I need your help around here. I'd also like to get your hands dirty with some field work. Make sure you spend time exploring the island. It's a beautiful place. There's a lot to see. Take the time to get to know the cats. Full understanding their behavior is crucial to our research. There's plenty to see and do. However, you must be careful not to overwork. Take regular rest and relaxation. We don't want you to burn yourself out now, do we? I'll try to get the balance right. It's the spirit, so there you are. So, on a first-class job of my wounds, they aren't bothering me nearly as much. Spend the rest of the day with the professor, getting to know the various pieces of equipment in the lab work, finding out where everything is, and learning some of the basic duties I'll be performing routinely. By the end of the day, I'm exhausted. I make my way to my tent. About to flop down on my bed when I see a package poking out from underneath it. We have mail carrier services here? Oh, it's the reports that Kibbles promised to deliver. The cats were right. The previous person barely made a start on producing an antidote. I'm gutted and worried. What if I can't do any better? Will I just turn into a cat? Just think that you won't have to pay taxes anymore. Besides, that's not an option. I resolve to get going on my own research into it tomorrow. My instincts tell me that the cats will be a good starting point. I have a feeling they know a lot more than they're prepared to tell me. I need to gain their trust and see if I can open up them a bit. Sure, I'll make more progress if I focus one at a time. I'm optimistic that one-on-one sharing will prove fruitful. It's a small glimmer of hope. Tonight, I'm not fit for anything. I can barely write in my journal before I fall asleep. The first morning of waking up on the island, except it's not. I'm so excited to discover what the day will bring. Should I jump straight into lab research, or maybe it would be wise to start investigating a way to help the cats find a way to cure myself? Alright. Should I do... Okay, so we have... Why is it just romance? Wow, that's... Okay. So I can research or recon. Any of these things costs me a heart, though. I mean, I guess we're... Why not? Whatever. There's a secret mystery cat. We can only date some of them at any given time. So Snooty Booty's been here a long time. She probably knows quite a lot. I just want to see. Okay, so yeah, I can back out. Let's see what research and recon are too then before we decide on anything. Guess we just pick things up here. Let's... Maybe let's get the lay of the land a little? I have to do a whole bunch of the chapters and things, huh? Okay, so I can talk to people. I feel like we should figure this one out. This seems kind of important. I hear my catalog beeping. I presume it's the professor. I tumble out of bed, half asleep, and fumble around looking for the device. Look at the screen, my eyes struggling to focus. The message isn't from the professor at all. There's no contact information. Come outside. Who's this? Come outside. They obviously aren't going to respond to my question. Should I do as the message tells me? Yeah, we're already dead. My curiosity is roused. I have a feeling there's something important to learn from this stranger, so I throw on my clothes and crawl out of my tent. I don't see anything out of the ordinary. Anyone out there? Walk to the edge of the forest. I'm not going any further until you tell me who you are. Walk to the edge of the forest. By now I realize I've walked to the edge of the forest. Wow. We are the person who dies first in the horror movie, aren't we? The edge of the forest, I see something on the ground. As I get closer, it becomes clear that it's a small posy of flowers. I gingerly pick them up and notice that several of the flower heads are missing. Follow the petals. Now I see that there's a trail of little orange petals, the same color as the bouquet I'm holding. Well, I've come this far, no turning back now. I begin to walk, I'm nervous, so I call out. No answer, louder this time. Hello? Hello? Hello, who is that?
Who goes there?
Major, is that you? Floofy Butt?
I really wish you wouldn't call me that, human. What on earth do you think you're playing at? Cavorting around the forest in the dead of night, causing a ruckus.
Oh, Major, you don't know how pleased I am to see you. I need your help.
This can't wait until a civilized hour.
Your cats are basically nocturnal. Afraid it can't. I'm not the one instigating this. I've been getting messages from an anonymous source asking me to follow them into the woods. Look, they've left this trail.
Ah, Canaluda maritima, marigolds, herb of the sun.
Wait. How do you know the scientific name of marigolds? How do you know anything? You're a cat.
They're said to represent creativity, though some believe them to be symbols of cruelty and grief.
How do you know that? Your knowledge is so impressive, but I have to say on this occasion, it's not very comforting.
Floofybutt goes striding off with purpose. Come along then, Grosspitz. Are we going to follow this trail or not?
I shuffle awkwardly behind him.
Before the sun comes up, eh?
Continue for a short while before we notice the petals are getting more sparse, becoming more difficult to see them until eventually they seem to run out. Find ourselves at a small clearing.
Well, it appears somebody's been playing a joke on you, Grosspitz.
Sadly agree. It's been nothing but a wild goose chase. Seems so, Major. Sorry for dragging you into this. Let's get back to our beds before we waste any more precious snooze time on this fool. I turn to Floofybutt and notice his back is arched and his fur puffed up, making him look even more floofy than usual. Something wrong, Major?
Tell me, humans, that pile of rocks looks suspicious. A golem.
Amidst myriad rock piles, I notice a small, contrived-looking cairn. Floofybutt's right, it looks far from natural. Seems to me like it's asking to be inspected, Major.
Get to it, Grosspitz, you're the one with thumbs.
Haha, that's right. Begin to dismantle the small mound rock by rock. It's not until the foundation stone is removed that we find a manila envelope. Major, look, it's a letter.
It's rather large for a letter, my dear. I think you ought to open it.
What does everyone call us dear? Here or back at base?
Having got this far, I think it's only fair I have equal share of the spoils.
You can come back to base too. Spoils? So perhaps we should look right now. As I'm speaking, I've torn into the envelope.
Well, out with it.
It looks like drawings?
Sort of drawings.
Not sure, they look quite old, antique even.
They have value, human.
Probably to someone. They appear to be sketches of people here on the island, but I don't recognize anybody. Why would someone lead me to these?
How do you know that you were meant to find them?
Because we followed a trail and it led us here.
Actually, the trail ended a while back. This could be a mere coincidence. I hardly see the intrigue in a few old scribbles. They show no artistic flair at all.
And so I'm going to hang on to these, see if they prove relevant to whatever mystery is unfolding here on the island.
Floofybutt rolls his eyes. You really ought to focus more on the clues that matter instead of running around in the middle of the night on wild goose chases. Sit back before anybody discovers you're missing.
Roll the drawings up and tuck them into my waistband. Yeah, that's a good way to store things. I will study them when I have more time. I think Floofybutt's probably right, but I don't want to miss a trick. Get some rest now, Grosspitz. Finally, a sensible suggestion. Creepy. Let's get a drink. Oh boy, 1.4% of the way to the antidote. We're almost there. We might not die. So since it's a different day, do we have different cats to romance, or is it always... Okay, so it's always McMurphy and Snooty Booty. I'm splayed out like a starfish on the beach in my bathing clothes. It's a swelteringly hot day, and I find it hard to concentrate on my work, so here I am. Let the cool sea wash over my feet and legs as I lie back on the sand. I hear a long, loud sigh coming from somewhere nearby, and I sit up to see where it came from. Snooty Booty, in response, under the shade of a palm tree, is looking about with her concerned expression, one that I've never really seen a cat make before. Go over to her to see if I can help with something. Are you okay, Snooty Booty? Why did that have to be the name? She lets out another long, wistful sigh. To be quite frank with you, human, no, I am not okay. You're probably sunburned. Cannot expose the... Oh my god. Am I psychic? Cannot expose this delicate skin of mine to the sun, but there is something I need to retrieve from further down the beach. It's quite the predicament. Oh, right, you want me to fetch it for you? Oh, would you really be so kind, human? I would be very grateful. Sure, it's no problem. We can't have you putting that delicate skin of yours at risk, can we? Is that a thing for Sphinx cats? Can they actually get, like, sunburn? I never thought of that before. Snooty Booty looks grave. Indeed not. Skin care must come above all else, don't you think? One must never expose one's skin to the elements, human. It's really quite aging. One must also never get stressed if one wishes to retain one's youthful aura, which is rather difficult on this frightful island. Oh, I know, believe me. How do you know? Are you stressed? Oh no, that would upset me terribly. Really? That's, sweet of you? Of course, you really are a precious thing. I hope you are finding your time here pleasant. Don't worry about me, Snooty Booty, I'm fine. Now what was it you'd like me to get for you? Before I tell you, I must ask you don't inform the others of the whereabouts of this particular item. It's very dear to me, you see, and one of the few luxuries I have all to myself. Of course, that's no problem. I can be discreet when I need to be. What is that face? Oh my god. What? I do hope so, human. You see, along this beach, just south of here, there is a tree which bears the ripest of coconuts all year round. It is quite splendid. The coconuts are always so sweet and creamy. Snooty Booty looks as if she's lost in a wonderful dream. Sounds lovely? It is. I like to drink coconut water as often as I can. Well, it clears you out, that's good. So it's good for the skin and waistline. Yeah, because it clears you out. But the less civilized denizens of the island keep knocking the coconuts down before they're fully matured. Unfortunately, no one seems to have discovered this particular tree yet. Okay, I'll try to find some coconuts for you. I'll be back soon. We found it. Well, look at that. I've been walking a lot longer than Snooty Booty led me to believe. I'm not sure if this is even the right tree. They all look the same to me. This one does seem to have more coconuts than the others. Decided to take a chance and bundle up as many as I can carry in my arms and haul them back to her ladyship. By the time I get back to Snooty Booty, I'm faint from exertion, not to mention walking so far in the sun. Fall to my knees, panting in front of her. Here you go, Boots. Boots without fur. Without fur. She eyes the pile with a distinct air of approval. I only needed one coconut, human. No, it's far too many. Well, I do apologize, madam. Tell me you didn't plunder the tree. No, there are plenty on the ground already, so... Oh, well, that's a small mercy. At least you didn't hack them down. Hack them down with what? Your hands are rather large and leathery. Snooty Booty, I do not use my hands for deforestation. But you could. It'd be a lot cooler if you did. Well, I'm sure you did your very best. Although I really don't know what I'm going to do with so many coconuts. Can cats even... Can they eat and drink coconut stuff? Is that fine for them? I look down at the pile of coconuts and it strikes me properly for the first time how strange it is that there are no creatures on the island to plunder them. What do you think it is, Snoots, that keeps wildlife away from the island? Do you mean the magnetic barrier? How do they know what that is? Magnetic barrier? Oh, do keep up, human. I thought you were meant to be a scientist. I realize she must be referring to the force field that surrounds the island. So I'm confused. Are they cats or are they people that were turned into cats? They have to be people who were turned into cats. There's no way. Now, be a dear and crack one open for me. With my enormous hands. You could try, I suppose. I push down the irritation that is slowly rising in me and smile politely. Second thought, I'll be right back with a screwdriver. Or just a rock. A what? It's a sharp metal tool that bores into things. What on earth do you need one of those for? So I can make a hole to get the water out of the coconut? How else would you propose I do it? Look around you, dear. Look at nature's bounties. What about that? Snooty gestures with a limp paw at a shard of rock nearby. Snoots, how do you usually get the water out of the coconut when there isn't a human around? The exuberant Kibble simply loves to break things. Had you not noticed? It's one of the few reasons I tolerate him, don't you know? Far better than your screwball dribbers? What? Wait, so you know about magnets and the scientific name for flowers, but you don't know about screwdrivers? Something's not quite right here. Reach over and pick up the rock. It doesn't look like it could actually do the job. Let's give it a try. Holding the coconut in a palm leaf, I gently tap the shell a few times with a stone before finally whacking it. It opens surprisingly easily, and the water drains into the leaf. There now, see how nature provides, human? Yep, again, you're welcome. Quite. Snooty Booty stretches her neck and then the upper body towards the leaf, sticks her tongue out as far as it can go before raising her big eyes to me. Can't quite seem to... let me help. Let her struggle for a moment or two before I feel a little bit like a child pulling the wings off a fly. She can't help the way she is. Seem to be struggling a little, Boots. You've placed my libation slightly out of reach. Oh, I'm sorry, would you like to help? Bring it closer, perhaps? Of course I would, human. Are you being deliberately obtuse? Very much like to help you, Snoots, but you make it rather difficult. How? I don't understand. I've been perfectly clear in my instruction. See, I am under a spell. It's a very powerful one, which prevents me from following any instruction unless accompanied by some magic words. Oh, would you care to enlighten me? It goes something like this. Please, human, would you mind passing me my libation? Thank you very much. There's a pause during which I'm not really sure what Snooty Booty is thinking. I had to pause to clear my throat. Good timing. Suddenly the Sphinx erupts into peals of laughter. Seem to have forgotten my manners. Please be so kind, human. I would be most obliged. Oh, go on then. I nudge the leaf closer to her, and she delicately laps at it. Truly indebted. Many thanks. Looks delicious. Snooty agrees without taking a break. You know, searching for those coconuts was thirsty work. My throat's a bit scratchy, especially in this heat. Then be a human and just open up one of the other ones. You got too many. Snooty Booty finally comes up for air. Quite, that's the beauty of the coconut, you see. So hydrating and most palatable, too. You really ought to try it sometime. Look down at the now dry palm leaf. Yes, that's a good idea. The very best thing after drinking coconut water is to curl up and have a nap, you know. Beauty sleep is most important. Is that so? Indeed, human. I suppose you have other things to do now? Snooty Booty yawns and closes her eyes. Suppose I do. Sweet dreams, princess. She snores softly in reply. She's kind of a jerk. Oh, 2.8% on research. There's a chance. Round up some rowdy kitties. Let's go with this one. It's gonna be fun. It's a sunny afternoon. Most of the cats are lazing on the beach. Perfect, like shooting fish in a barrel. Double check my supply list. Crate, treats, sedatives, snare, catnip, antiseptic cream for myself. I've got everything. Sick feeling in my tummy, but I ignore it the best I can. It's going to be a challenge, but I'm pleased the professor is trusting me with the more physical tasks. Walk out onto the beach feeling like the child catcher. Keep reminding myself that I'm doing this for the greater good, even if it makes me unpopular with the cats. Set up the crate in an unsuspecting location and keep the snare hidden behind my back. First I stroll around, trying to look as casual as possible, whistling a tune as I walk. Get close to one of the smaller cats, start to stroke her. Want this to be as painless as possible. The cat responds well to me, she even starts to purr gently. You gonna come with me? The cat looks at me with big, wide, loving eyes. Come on then. Pick up the cat, carrying her to the crate and place her gently inside. Lock it shut, even though the cat makes no attempt to escape. That went better than expected. This may be a good day after all. Emboldened by my success, I approach one of the slightly larger cats. Hey, matey, should we get you in the basket? Give him a little stroke. He doesn't respond badly, although he seems particularly interested either. Put my hands on either side of his body, ready to pick him up. Doesn't look happy about it and growls a warning at me. Hey, mister, it's gonna be okay. We're just going on a little trip, alright? As soon as I start to lift, all hell breaks loose. Yowling and hissing, he scratches my arm into ribbons. I try to get him into the basket, but he stretches out and I can't fit him in. That sounds familiar. Oh, ow, ow! I know when I'm defeated and I have to let him go. He scampers off into the distance. Look down at my ravaged arms. Note to self, wear long sleeves when on caging duty. Yeah, that would have been... probably would have made some sense. Resting recovers all of our hearts? Do we die if we lose all of them, though? I'm curious. Okay, so yeah, you're looking a little tired. You only have 1 heart remaining. If you choose to continue, it could have negative consequences. You can restore hearts by choosing to rest instead. Guess we'll take it easy today. What? You got... Wow, we've already broke McMurphy's heart. Oh no. That's odd. I don't know what to make of that. Let's do some more research. Organize some samples or field work. Alright, let's take a drink and then do some field work. Professor Popper told me to be ready early and dressed for hiking as we're doing fieldwork this morning. I'm not sure that I have anything that would pass for hiking gear, to be honest. Some sturdy shoes would be good. Well, lab coat and trainers it is then, as usual. Why are we so underprepared for this? A message from the professor lights up my catalog.
Ah, Gruspitz. You ready for our fieldwork today?
Yes, of course, Professor. May I ask where we're going?
Somewhere I think you'll find very interesting.
The professor hands me a backpack.
Here, take this bag.
It's full, but surprisingly light. Popper set off at a brisk pace, calling back to me over his shoulder.
This way.
I run to catch up to him. After some serious walking, with me struggling to keep up, the professor stops abruptly and listens.
Did you hear that?
It's the sound of bubbling water.
We're almost there.
Secretly, I'm relieved, as I don't think I could go much further. Why are we just so unprepared for this? Maybe we should just let catification happen. We're clearly not cut out to be a good human.
Just a little climbing.
Climbing? I hide my dismay. Where does he get his energy from? Cats? Consumes their souls. I don't trust this guy at all.
It's just up at the top there. It's not as difficult to climb as it looks.
In front of an almost vertical rock face. Just copy me. He clambers up expertly. Manage to find a spot that will support my foot and start the climb. Make a little progress before slipping and falling flat on my bum. Try again, this time I take it slow. Again, I fall. What happened to the benefits of catification the others keep going on about? Professor notices I'm having trouble and holds out a hand for me. Manage to climb up just enough to take hold of him, and he lifts me the rest of the way. His strength is impressive, curious even. Spider-Man?
Not a fan of climbing, eh?
Can't say I've done much of it, Professor.
Come along then, I could get you there.
Pretty much pulls me all the way to the top and then leads me to the entrance of a small cave. The sound of running water is very loud now. Except not. It was loud earlier, now it's not at all. Instantly see why. A natural spring has cut its way through the rock and created a beautiful cascade of sparkling clear water. It looks delicious. You know how many cats are on this island? I bet there's more ammonia in that than a farm. I kneel down without thinking and begin to drink. It tastes amazing. As I come up for breath, I see the professor looking at me with suspicion.
You should know better. It is never wise under any circumstances to ingest something that is unproven. But here on this island, it would be prudent to exercise more caution than usual.
I feel embarrassed at my lack of consideration. Yes, of course, sir. I wasn't thinking. I felt so thirsty. It looked so good.
I understand. Many have made the same error. Fortunately for you, this is tried and tested for safe consumption. It's good, don't you think?
My body suddenly feels re-energized. I feel like I could climb any wall. It's incredible. I feel fantastic. What's in it?
You don't know. It's the why we're here. We need more samples. We're studying this water for months now. We know very little about it. Check your bag.
It's got electrolytes. It's Brondo. It's what plants crave. Open my bag. It's full to the brim with empty plastic bottles.
We need to fill all of these with water. We're going to need as much as we can carry.
I do as he says. By the time all the bottles are full and back in my bag, it weighs a ton. But I feel like I can lift anything. The effect of the water is powerful. It really is Bronda. Wow, they really went there. Professor has also packed his own rucksack with bottles.
Should do for us now. Let's get these back.
So we make our way down to the rock face and back to camp. I have no problems keeping up with the professor. I feel like I could run all the way. However, as we get closer to home, I start to feel the effect wear off. My bag becomes unbearably heavy. The final limb into camp is torture. I need a rest. .6%. Okay. We might survive this. We'll do one more recon and then we'll go back to the date, I guess. Talk to the security guard. Been staring at the back of his head for a long time now. Too long, I'm starting to feel creepy. I just don't understand it. All he does is sit in that chair by the dock, eating egg sandwiches and doing crossword puzzles. How does a man like that become the security guard for a place like this? It sounds like he has the qualifications down. As far as I can tell, his job consists of greeting the boat to make sure nothing unauthorized gets on or off, picking up supplies, and occasionally taking a long, lazy lap of the island to make sure everything's secure? Wonder what he knows about the research that goes on here, if anything. He seemed to be interested regardless. Decide it's time to get to know this island bouncer, and go to join him at the dock. I sit next to Zane, me on the sand, him on that chair. He's not wearing his big coat, and the short-sleeved shirt allows me to notice for the first time how surprisingly muscular he is. Never thought of him as security in the bodyguard sense, but now, squinting at him sideways, try not to stare too obviously, I begin to see him in a new light. I pluck up the courage to talk. Hey Zane, how are you?
Trying to start a conversation.
A Jay Leno chin. It's amazing. The crimson chin. Cincinnati.
Says without looking up from his crossword puzzle.
Oh, I suppose I am, yes. I don't get to chat much with humans in my job.
Research Assistant 125.
Rolls out the words like he's reading them. Yeah, I guess that's me. What does the number stand for anyhow?
You don't know?
He asked monotonously, eyes still glued to the crossword puzzle. Not really, to be honest, Zane. I don't know much at all. There's definite lack of intel sharing on this project.
Which project would that be?
This one? The whole research project that's going on? Is there more than one?
Depends who you ask.
You? I was asking you, really.
I don't understand your job. I don't need to. I don't care about things I don't need to.
What do you care about? Zane looks at me for the first time.
You really want to talk, don't you?
There's not much else to do. Besides, I'm interested in it all, aren't you?
My interests consist of what's for dinner and when my next puzzle book's coming.
When's it coming? You get it delivered?
Comes with the mail.
He's back to not looking at me again. The mail? You mean the parcels?
And the letters, yeah.
The letters? We'd go to the trouble of sending mail all the way out here and we have email. I laugh, but Zane looks very serious.
It's far safer sending mail the old-fashioned way. With email, there's viruses, hackers, worms, cyber-terrorists.
Get the feeling he's not very tech-savvy. Yeah, but anyone can open and read a letter, right? No, that is a federal crime.
Not if I'm around. Besides, who would suspect that something important would be in a fragrant pink envelope?
There's an awkward silence. Of course, being my usually socially inept self, I'm desperate to fill it. Need any help with that crossword? I'm pretty good. I can even do the cryptic puzzle in the Daily Inquirer. There's your problem. This line usually gains me a little kudos, but Zane simply ignores me. Decided to just come out and say what's on my mind. I mean, it can't make things more awkward than they already are. Zane, have you ever noticed anything strange going on here? Cats behaving weirdly? You didn't even need that sentence. That's what they do. I don't think we're a very good researcher at all. Especially not for our subjects here, but like just in general. We seem like we're pretty terrible at our job. Zane suddenly looks up, his eyes locking straight on mine, unwavering and hard.
No? Have you?
Well, not exactly, but he's looking at me properly the first time since we met. I've definitely captured his attention, but I'm too nervous to follow through. Just being silly. The lack of human company can get to me. It gives me daft ideas.
Such as?
He's still staring at me as though he's trying to read my mind. Sometimes when I'm out tagging, I feel like they're playing games on me, like children, hide and seek, that kind of thing. Are you aware of cats? Have you heard of them before? Do you know that animals can also be playful and do things? How bad are we at our job? How dumb are we? Can I just make the choice to become a cat and just give up what is clearly a wasted life?
Some of those cats may be cleverer than any of us give them credit for.
See, Zane knows, and he just sits on this dock doing crosswords all day. Now it's my turn to be intrigued. In what way?
They know when to stay out of the sun. You're going pink.
The moment, if there ever was one, is over. Aside, maybe Zane isn't the best person to talk to about my concerns. Or maybe we're too awkward at talking to anybody. Feeling unwanted and slightly dejected, I decide to head back to camp, stand up and brush the sand off me. The music really sells dejected.
It's a 5-letter word for solitude.
Alone. Zane silently scribbles in his book as I leave. Okay, so I don't think... Yeah, I don't have any more recon to do. Guess romance it is. Already broke McMurphy's heart. Snooty Booty, Stoots. Been searching for the Sphinx for what feels like ages. For a cat that never seems to move, she's surprisingly difficult to find. I'm answered eventually by an unintelligible murmur coming from the shade of a nearby tree. Of course, she's sleeping. Snooty Booty. Poke at her gently and try to rouse her. I've something for you, a gift as it happens. That's usually what those are, when you have something for someone. Oh, human, it's you. Whatever are you doing up and about at this time? It's midday, Boots. Snooty stares at me uncomprehendingly. I have an hour for lunch and I came to spend it with you. But if it's not a convenient time, I could always find something else to do. Wait, you mentioned a gift? Well, yes, I suppose. I had the idea when we were drinking. Well, when you were drinking from the coconut I fetched for you the other day. That's like an us problem. We definitely could have just cracked open another one. I took some of the remaining coconuts over to the lab and cooked up some coconut oil. Snooty Booty opens her mouth wide. I sit awkwardly staring at her, unsure of what she's doing. Well, I'm ready to break my fast, human. It's hard sometimes to know whether to laugh or spit with this spoiled feline. No, Boots, this isn't for eating. You mentioned how good drinking coconut water is for you, so I thought you might like some coconut oil to rub into your skin, keep you moisturized and youthful. She's like a 12-year-old Sphinx cat that lives in the sun. I don't know that youthful is in the cards anymore here. Aren't you terribly clever? Can't help but blush. Snooty Booty rarely compliments anyone. I feel so honored. Why are we getting hot under the collar when a cat compliments us? What's going on with our character? I'm a little concerned. You may begin. Snooty Booty lolls onto her back, exposing her plump pink tummy to me. Oh, you want me to rub it in for you? That's a trap, bro. You cannot rub cats in the stomach. She's gonna attack you. Snooty Booty simply smiles in response. Well, please wouldn't go amiss. Yes, well, I didn't want to make a fuss, but I would prefer it if you asked first. There's no point in arguing with Princess Snooty Booty. I don't think she actually means to be rude. Sometimes she just doesn't seem to understand how to talk to people as equals. I mean, we're not equals, she's a cat. I don't have the energy to deal with it today, but I make a note that at some point she and I are going to have a little chat about etiquette. May I please rub this coconut oil into your skin? Yes, you may. The little pictures. Okay, I get it now. I get it. Because yeah, these don't change at all. I don't know. I feel like they could have done maybe a little more with some of the other artwork. Pour some of the pungent liquid into the palm of my hand and rub it together with the other. I have no idea what I'm doing, as I'd never massaged anyone before, but I work along the lines of putting sunscreen on for a friend. That's basically what you're doing. I touch the warm, loose skin on Snooty's primordial pouch, So I'm struck by how delicate she really is, and I try to be as gentle as possible. Why did you word that like that? What is this? Is that okay? You're very skillful with your hands, human. This is creepy. Okay. I do wish I had those thumb things. They seem very useful. Is one of the cats a polydactyl? I feel like we've been... we're missing out by not having one. They're quite handy, to be honest, but paws are cool too. Snooty Booty lazily inspects one of her paws. Do my paws next, will you? Snooty's skin is reacting well to the treatment and becoming shiny and pliant. See the good it's doing. I move on to massage her paws, but I'm quite taken aback by the length of her claws. We seem confused as to what cats are. Oh my, Boots, your claws are really quite long. Don't you use a scratch post or anything? Yeah, there's a whole lot of them here, you know, just duck on over to the, Petco or whatever. A what? You know, something abrasive to file them on? Whatever for? It's part of being a cat, really. Stops them catching on things. Snooty Booty is peering at me with one judgmental eye open. Caught on what, exactly? I don't know, Snoots. Don't worry about it. I'm sure it's fine. Oh no. Do go on. I'm intrigued. You seem to be implying there was some degree of neglect in my grooming. Oh, we've screwed up now. No, I most certainly am not. You are by far the most high-maintenance, high-groomed cat I've ever seen. In fact, you are the perfect example of a sphinx. I'm a... what? Sphinx? He's trying to get me to say perfect again. Really? You didn't go for the pun there? Come on. It's hard keeping my face straight. Other games would have done it. It's literally the title of the game, even. Absolutely perfect, Snoots. And you're an expert? Well, I wouldn't call myself that, but I've been reading up on Sphinx cats, and you all have the characteristics of a pedigree. It's very sweet of you to say. Remind me, what would those be? I guess we'll flatter her? And this is a dating sim, so why not? Hesitate for a moment, trying to remember what Pause for Thought listed as the top features to look for in a Sphinx. It's rather a lot of info, and I want to give her the best bits. Let's see. Feeling Snooty Booty would not be appropriate, or would not appreciate some of the common qualities of a Sphinx, including wrinkles and pot bellies, so I decided to cherry pick and dress it up a bit. Sphinx cats are well known for their beautiful big eyes and high prominent cheekbones. Snooty extends her neck and widens her eyes. She also appears to suck in her cheeks, which gives her the look of someone who's not wearing their dentures. It's very disconcerting. And they have a very shapely physique? That isn't strictly true. Sphinxes tend to be quite muscular, but something tells me Snooty Booty wouldn't approve of that description. She's now extended her entire body into what looks like a yoga stretch. I see. Go on. Their skin is soft, buttery. Bro, no. This is sort of true because they don't have fur to soak up excess oils. Sphinx cats can become quite greasy. Gross. It's recommended that they be patted down with a cloth as part of their regular grooming. I'm listening. What is that face? And they're very regal. Yes. Regal? I'm not sure where that word came from, but Snooty Booty seems to enjoy it. Well, well, human, it seems you have a vast and accurate knowledge of my kind. I'm rather impressed with you. I blush. It's not often she gives out compliments. When she does, it makes you feel like $1 million. That's twice in one day. Wow. Thank you, Snoots. Which prompts me to take a look at what you were saying about my claws far more seriously. Do you think I ought to tend to them? In what way? The length. I believe you were suggesting they ought to be trimmed. I wasn't saying that, but I don't think it's such a bad idea. Perhaps I could help you with that? A manicure? What a marvelous idea. Let's say tomorrow, same time? Well, if I can get away. I feel like she's played me. Really are most kind. Thank you, human. With those few words, my heart is a puddle at her feet. Boy, we're pretty easy, aren't we? Alright, 8.3%. We might not die. I hate that it gives us 4 hearts, but then it doesn't let you actually use the 4th. Like, what's the point of that? I'm in class at my university. The tutor is late and we're all sitting around waiting. I turn to my friend who sits behind me to make a joke about the tutor's car breaking down. My friend isn't there. Instead, there's a giant cat. Oh my god. This game commits the cardinal sin of a visual novel in that we can't ever hide the text block or anything else on the screen to see the artwork. Like, I want to see what our goofy tent looks like and this and stuff like that, and I just can't, which is odd. Looks like an elder. It bares its teeth at me and lets out a menacing low growl. Just as I'm about to scream, the tutor arrives, but it's Professor Pauper.
Look like you've seen a ghost, Grosspitz.
Trying to answer back to tell him to look behind me, but the words don't come out. I'm rigid with fear. Can't move, can't speak, can't scream. Everyone else is acting like things are normal. Can't they see it? I'm sure it's fine. Especially if it looks like that. That's what a cat looks like. I force myself to turn again and look at the terrifying cat, but it's not there. It's just an ordinary domestic cat, and everyone's laughing at me. Now I see everyone from the island. The Marigolds, Joe, Bob, Zane, Pauper, all pointing and laughing. I jump out of my seat to leave, and I'm in my bed, in my tent, sat bolt upright. Shouldn't have eaten cheese so close to bedtime. That'll get you every time. Alright. I don't think there's any more recon for us to do, right? Yeah. So we have to finish a bunch of other stuff here. Alright. Okay, yeah, McMurphy is he's still dead to us. I guess we'll do the final research and then we'll go in for another date. Oh, once you complete your research. Okay, well, I guess we'll just keep dating Snooty Booty then. Hey Snoots, fancy seeing you here. Doesn't she live here? We're bad at this. We're really bad at this. Really? But this is my spot, human. I'm often to be found here. I let it go because I'm so excited about what I've brought. Where's this going? Pick a hand. Oh, we're actually giving her a manicure. I hold out my fist in front of Snooty Booty. Oh, a game. How merry. She stretches her paw in the direction of my left hand. Ta-da! I open it to reveal a piece of coarse stone that I cut up in the lab. Oh, what a lovely rock you have there. It's coarse stone. I thought it could work as a nail file. What a clever thing you are. It's not even the best bit. Look. I open the other fist to reveal my fantastic find. Oh my, what is that thing? It's nail polish. I found it at the lab. Why was that there? Why would you give a cat nail polish? That's it. What? That can't be good for them. I have no idea who it could belong to, and honestly, I don't like to think too much about it, but I figured I could borrow it for one short hour without anybody missing it. Clearly Professor Pauper's, he's got to have the perfect cuticles. Looks like just your color. I squint at the bottom of the bottle. It's called Desire. Bro, no. What is this? No. Pump the brakes, bro. I raise my eyebrows at the Sphinx. Oh, nail polish, you say? Show me, human. Suddenly, she seems more interested. Thought I could try to give you a salon-style manicure befitting a lady. What a weird set of skills we have. We're a terrible researcher, but we apparently are capable of giving salon-style manicures to cats. Wonderful. What did we study in college? I'm sure those student loans are worth it. Most sweet of you. Now, shall we sort out the snacks and drinks first? Oh, well, I came straight from work, so I didn't really... Oh, never mind. It won't take you more than a moment to fetch a coconut, and then we shall begin. Can't believe I'm actually doing her bidding. To hand it to her, that air of entitlement certainly gets her what she wants. Back quickly and out of breath, within minutes we settle into our session. Tell me if this feels at all uncomfortable, Snoots. I've never done this before, so guidance would be most helpful. I thought you said you knew what you were doing. Now we're a liar, too. That's what we learned in college. We didn't even graduate, I bet. Surprisingly satisfying. I can see why other cats engage in the process of scratching at trees and rocks. Always thought they were hunting for termites like little scavengers. Next foot. Finished her hind legs and I'm on to the final front paw. Stone works really well. Did I tell you how I cut it in the lab? I don't believe you did. So how does this nail polish work? Is it like paint? So you didn't know what a screwdriver was, but you're aware of paint, but not nail polish. What? I don't... Something doesn't add up here. Ignore her rudeness. Exactly. Paint it on and wait for it to dry. I've never painted someone's nails before, so this will be a new experience for the both of us. I open the bottle and make the first stroke. Try to keep as still as possible. I think you'll find I am statuesque in my stillness. Your hand is less so. I know, sorry, your nails are just so tiny. I'm trying to color within the lines. What lines? Never mind, it's a human thing, I guess. I'm not sure I care for all the smell of this nail polish. Yeah, that might have been something to think about. Really, I quite like it. Reminds me of pear drops. Of what? Sorry, another human thing. Wow, look though, your paws look fantastic. Oh my god. Salon quality. Right on the beach. The long, sleek talons are glinting shiny red in the sunlight. What is this? Oh my, I am spectacular. She extends her claws momentarily and presses them into my arm. Not enough to puncture the skin, but if I tried to move, it would hurt. For the first time, I appreciate what lethal weapons they could be. I must keep that in mind. Are you... I'm starting to think that we had maybe never seen a cat before we came to this island. We seem very confused about a lot of things with them. So come on then. Take on my catalog. Come on, what? Pose for the camera. Oh goodness, I hadn't realized this was going to be a photographic session also. How exciting. Yes, well, I'm going to have to remove that varnish before I go, so I thought it'd be nice for you to have a photo. Remove it? Sphinx cat looks appalled. Whatever for? Snoots, I'm sorry, didn't I say? I can't leave it on you permanently. It would impede the natural retraction of your claws. Then I shall leave them extended. Can't do that. Expression darkens. Beg your pardon, I thought for a moment I heard you tell me what I can't do. Surely I was mistaken. No, Snoots, you heard me perfectly well. I must insist you allow me to remove it. Her forehead wrinkles with raised eyebrows. I need to tread carefully here. Ask your permission. Please, may I remove the varnish now? It simply doesn't make sense. Why do it in the first place? Because we're kind of dumb? I mean... Clearly, we've struck out in life if we're flirting with an actual cat. You know? What was the high point, I wonder? If this is the low. Is this the low? Have we gone lower? Can we go lower? I think we can. I know how much you enjoy things like this pampering. I thought it would be a fun thing for us to share. You had fun, didn't you? Yeah, well, yes, but I certainly wouldn't have had I known you were simply doing it to taunt me. I wasn't doing it to taunt you, Boots. She seems genuinely upset. I'm sorry. It's an awkward little standoff, her eyeing the rubbing alcohol, me eyeing her claws. Rack my brains, think of a way to compromise with her. Perhaps I tried appealing to her sense of style. Wonder if you'd like to try something. I don't know why I didn't do it in the first place, actually. I'm so forgetful. You're withering. Well, just before I came to this island, there was a craze sweeping the fashion world. You can tell I've caught her attention. Read all about it in, Bon Vivant magazine. Go on. She knows what magazines are, but not nail polish. It's a French thing, apparently. Sooty Booty cocks her head to the side. It's called, the Pinky Flick. Flèche rosée. Just going for it. I feel encouraged, thinking on my feet. All the celebrities are doing it. Doing what? Having their pinky nail painted while the other nails are left natural. Just one nail? She looks intrigued. Why does it matter if she doesn't have her claws, like, I don't... That would still be a problem. In fact, that might be more of a problem to have just one permanently extended. Right? Anyway. Yes, it really does look striking, and... a la mode? That's... I don't think that means what you think it means here. Show me. Bullseye. I go to take Snooty's paw in mine, but she snatches it away. No, show me. I pause, I'm certain of what she means. Then the penny drops. She wants me to paint my own pinky nail with Desire by Ralph Lauren. Oh, gladly. Suppose I should have expected Snooty Booty to attempt to groom me at some point. Here goes. Swipe some of the bright red polish on my left pinky. What do you think? Looking yeah, it totally looks like it's covered in ice cream, right? I hold my pinky finger to the corner of my mouth coyly. Ooh, very, very fancy. Well, I suppose it looks rather fetching. Make a deal with you, human. I'll wear my nails a la mode if you promise to keep yours painted for the rest of your stay here. It's a deal. That'll be easy to explain. Yeah, you know, I was hitting on this cat, and she was like, yeah, I gotta paint my pinkies too. Cut just that one, or no, keep just that one long too. That'll really enhance the effect. I doubt that such a tiny amount of varnish will cause her too much harm. It will come off naturally quite soon anyway. Mine, on the other hand, is going to be more permanent. Can't wait to explain this to Professor Pauper. I'm sure he's fine with it. .7% on the antidote. Poor McMurphy never had a chance. Be a dear, would you? Snooty Booty is in the habit now of holding out a limp, manicured paw for me to massage. I resignedly oblige. Oh, do you know, that reminds me, I have something for you. Something for me? Oh, look at you with your mouth agape. Do close it, you'll embarrass us both. I'm sorry, I just didn't expect you'd ever think of me when I'm not with you. Ha! You do make me laugh, human. Oh my, are you serious? Well, I'll have you know I think of you a great deal. You're my most faithful subject, don't you know? Now, if you want your gift, carry me further down the beach and I'll show you where I hid it. If it's another coconut, I swear to God. Cradling the hairless cat like a baby, I stroll barefoot along the beach. Snooty Booty directs me with a wave of her paw every now and then, while she loudly commands that I stop and put her down. Here, Snooty says with her regular level of enthusiasm, pointing to a perfectly filed claw at a mound of sand. I buried it. Suppose you want me to dig it up then, eh, Boots? Ha! Boys know what to say to make me laugh, human. It's quite a talent, I tell you. With a sigh, I start digging. Thankfully, she didn't bury it very deep, and after a few seconds, I find a small object wrapped in a silk scarf. Wouldn't want getting sand into it, would we, dear? Snooty Booty says with a small smile. I carefully open the flimsy silk bundle and turn the contents over in my hands. It's a little black tub with a plain label stuck on it that reads, Skin Cream P103. Do you love it? What is it? It's Skin Cream P103. Are we illiterate too? Oh my god. We're batting 1,000. Dear, yes. Dear, can you not read? She apparently can. Yes, it says skin cream, but I don't know exactly what that entails. What? How dumb are we? Oh my god. Oh, you see, one massages skin cream into one's skin. This cat knows. Why don't we know? You understand that, Boots, but whose is this? Where'd you find it? Well, it's yours now, human. That's usually how gifts work. Don't ask where it came from. There's no police on this island. Roll my eyes and further inspect the tub. It's very small and plain, with no cosmetic logo or name to be found. I pop open the plastic lid, and sure enough, it's filled to the brim with goop. Uh-oh. It's, Gwyneth Paltrow's coming. There might not be police, but she's here. Scoop out some with my index finger and smell it. It smells disgusting, like bin juice or something. Gross. Ugh, boots, I can't put this on my skin. I'll attract all sorts of bugs and wildlife. Don't you want to be in nature? Oh, come now, we must suffer for our beauty, mustn't we? What is this stuff, Boots? Where'd you get it? All I ask is that you try some on your skin and tell me you don't see instant results. It's acid. We're gonna see some results, alright. Oh, Snooty, have you been using this stuff? Of course. Without knowing where it's from? I know exactly where it has come from. Then will you please let me in on the secret? Oh, calm down, human. You will give yourself more wrinkles. We're old, too. Oh my god. It just keeps getting worse for us. Let us take a moment to ponder how my generosity in giving you a thoughtful gift has developed into you interrogating me in such a brutish manner. Take a deep breath. Snooty Booty, I do apologize and thank you sincerely. Of course, I'm touched by your generosity and consideration. However, I'm also quite concerned for your welfare. Did you take this thing from the lab? Clearly she, popped on down to the Sephora that's, on the other side of the island. Oh no, not at all. Thank goodness. Took it from the stockpile behind the lab where the fire pits are. Oh, even better. It was garbage. Being the incinerator, Snooty, did you take this from the toxic waste bins? Oh, hell yeah. Now we're talking. We can turn into a cat and get superpowers? Sign me up. I have no idea what they're called, but they routinely give forth the most incredible produce. Waste is indeed a fitting word. I think you'll find toxic in the objective word in that title, Snoots. The contents of those bins are meant to be burned. Why are they burning skin cream? Further scrutinize the tub and conclude that it really is some kind of beauty product. This makes no sense at all. Of course, we can do very complex chemical analysis with our eyes. Good. That's why we're here. Actually, Princess, this is a fantastic present. I'm going to take it right now for further examination. Thank you so much. Well, finally, a little gratitude. Very grateful. You can report back to me with how splendid you look after a few applications. I will. One thing, though, Snooty. Just be clear, you have been using this. But of course, I wouldn't recommend something without trying it myself first. No problems. As you can see, human, my skin is as smooth and clear as porcelain. Yes, so why incinerate it? Speak up, human, you're mumbling. Nothing, Snooty, I just need your word you'll not use any more products you find in the lab again, okay? Oh, I see your game, human. You want to be the fairest of them all, eh? No, that's not it. Very well, human. I shall go en natural for a while. We'll see how, without even a touch of skin cream, I'm still as radiant as a star. Okay, Snooty. Challenge accepted. Indeed. Got a new recon. Will doing this count as finishing my research? I guess not. Snooty Booty found the skin cream out by the incinerator. That raised a lot of questions. Why are there cosmetics here in the first place? Decided to run some tests on it. Snooty Booty developed some nasty welts after using this cream. I thought she said it was fine. I thought you said it was fine too. I want to see what it's made from. I have a feeling this is not something the professor want me to be poking around in. So I've come to the lab late at night to make sure I don't get any unwanted attention. I'm able to quickly identify a number of common natural skincare ingredients like shea butter and chamomile, but there's some other components I can't immediately identify. What else could be in this stuff? I run the sample through the database of organic compounds, see if there's any matches. There are. Cat urine? I better not share that little discovery with Snooty Booty. Sorry to clear my throat. Decided to check for any clues about the incinerators. Maybe I can find a little more about where these things are coming from. At the back of the tent, there are a couple of large pits that are for the disposal of harmful waste from the lab. Nothing incinerating right now, so I can dig around a little in the smoldering ashes. No good. I'm tentatively moving the debris out with a stick. So far it seems to be just soot and cinders, no clues. Suddenly the silence is disturbed by the sound of someone entering the lab. I make myself scarce by crawling around to the far side of a nearby bush. As luck would have it, I happen to end up at the ideal vantage point to be able to see into the lab through a gap in the canvas. 2 men enter with a large crate. I recognize them as the ferryman and his son. Professor Pauper is with him. He directs them to place the crate on the worktop. The professor reaches in and brings out a small tub that looks identical to the one Snooty Booty found. My guess is it's the next batch in for testing. The professor stops what he's doing and abruptly looks at his catalog. I presume he's receiving a phone call. He dismisses the 2 men with a wave of his hand. There's cell service out here? As soon as they've gone, he turns his attention to the catalog. He looks anxious as he speaks.
Yes, they've been delivered. I shall make a start first thing in the morning. Yes, madam. I certainly will, madam. With all due respect, I understand the urgency, but I'm sure you understand the need for thoroughness. Sure, you'll be ready for the deadline. Testing on sample 104 is going far more smoothly than 103. The improvements are very encouraging.
It's a long silence. From the expression on his face, I imagine he's being lectured.
It's very important to cross-check it with the data here. The island itself has a significant effect on the samples. Still have some tests left to do. We're making progress, of course. I shall let you know straight away.
The call ends abruptly. Presumably, Madam cut him off. He looks angrier than I've ever seen him. He marches out of the lab and heads off in the direction of his tent. I sneak away from the bushes and head back to my own tent. I can continue with my investigations another time. Alright, so we have to rest. Then we can do the last romance, then the last research, and then we finish chapter 1. Sit in the position Professor Pauper taught me, legs crossed, back straight, wrists resting lightly on my knees, and fingers formed into loose circles with my forefinger and thumb touching gently. Close my eyes and hear rhythmic purring, slow and steady. It's a very short audio clip of purring. My fur prickles at the sea breeze, and my ears twist at the distant sounds of feet on wood and seagulls crying in another faraway place. The smell of the sea fills my nostrils. The taste of salt fills my mouth. I begin to focus on my breathing and the rhythm of my heartbeat, allowing my mind to drift. As I take a deep breath in, the tide comes creeping toward me, as though I'm pulling it. When it's just centimeters away from my bare toes, I slowly release my outward breath to count of 5 beats. 1, 2, 3... 4, 5. With each beat, I push the tide back into the horizon until it's almost touching the rising sun. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. And out. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Drifting now without attachment to thoughts, my mind free from worry and care. Do we really have a dream about meditation? It's weird. 12.5% on the antidote, though. The delicacy of a moment is sometimes only matched by the beauty of the moonlight's reflection on the sea. Snooty Booty turns her big shining silver eyes to meet mine. We're on like a serious date now, aren't we? It's like nighttime and everything. Human, I have lived a long life, and only the first of 9, don't you know? It has been much the same for as far back as my fragile memory reaches. Seeing the moon reflected on the sea would once mean only that I had stayed awake too long, that I shall see the next same shade of grey reflected in circles under my eyes the next day. However, seeing how you conduct yourself, human, with the grace of a drunken fruit fly, yet the confidence of a red-bottomed mandrill, how do you know what that is? Has left me quite inspired. Do not care one bit about how you look. Yeah, it takes a lot to not care. I suddenly try to comb my hair with my fingers as Snooty Booty turns her attention back to the moon. I have found since meeting you that one cares less about one's appearance. One finds the capacity to care more about other things. Is that so, Boots? Quite so, human. Indeed, I have found it rather freeing to breathe in salt water, something which not long ago would have caused me to turn grey with anxiety. In the same vein, I feel I am owed some thanks for teaching you a thing or two about proper skincare. Snooty, your demand that I use night cream caused me to break out in hives. But once they subsided, you were left with a very healthy glow. Compared to the hives, I'm sure. Grospitz. Yes, Snooty Booty? There's a poem I half remember. How do you know poetry?
The words have become irrelevant, but the sentiment is so endearing that it's almost enough to cause me to weep at the thought of it. Music is like that, don't you find? And smell. All of the senses, in fact, are the palette that colors our experience and leaves an indelible mark on the soul. That's beautiful. Human, I believe you and I are both aesthetes. We're what? We share an artist's appreciation of the séduisante. Again, what? Really, do try to keep up. I can tell I'm somewhat spoiling a mood here, so I try to keep my mouth shut and try to look engaged. I've suffered on this god-forsaken island from the lack of many things, but nothing has quite matched the pain of feeling alone, not having a companion to share the more delicate sensibilities that life has to offer. An alluring scent, a vibrant hue, an Epicurean delight, all the subtle joys that are wasted on our more uncivilized cohabitants. It's been like air to my suffocation, sharing time with you, human. Why, Snoots, thank you. I enjoy our time together, too. And so, she plows on as though I am an interruption, feel that together you and I might create something wonderful. Oh? A masterpiece. Oh, right, a masterpiece out of what? Of us, human, a union, a joining together of souls. You're gonna be my pet, right? That's where that better be where this is going. I didn't think it was that kind of game. I don't know. A marriage of hearts and minds. We're gonna adopt her, right? You saying what I think you're saying, Snooty? I'm saying that I'm fond of you enough to give me cause to believe that we may be able to commit to each other in time on a tradition of love, human. Does this lock me out of romance with other cats? I love you too. Well, I'm amazed. What you're saying is more than I could have hoped for. So it is agreed, human. You shall dote on me as my equal from now on? Absolutely. 100% about the doting. Snooty will certainly keep that part of the agreement. A little more suspicious about the equal part somehow, but as we sit together admiring the huge orange moon, I feel quietly confident that she will learn with time and a patient teacher. I guess we're going for this. I don't know. We got some antidote out of it, though, so I guess that must have been a good thing. I don't know how that works, but... Yes, I'm ready. So we'll finish this chapter, and then what happens? I'm curious. It says our time comes to an end. Does that mean we turn into a cat? Have we screwed up? Today I'm in the lab doing flora research. It's not the most exciting job, but if I keep my head down, I can get through it quickly enough. It really just consists of unpacking the new samples of plants and flowers the professor and I have collected for our foraging expeditions, and logging them into the database of organic substances on the computer. Most of them are commonplace plants that grow abundantly in the forest, but occasionally we come across something more rare, exotic even. One of the samples I'm looking at today is Calendula Inca maritima, which is interestingly indeed. I can't help but speculating what's been cultivated in Marigold's little greenhouse, then transplanted to open ground. I'm distracted momentarily by the sound of clinking glass. Turn to see the beautifully manicured paws of a sphinx cat tapping on a beaker, nudging it perilously close to the edge of the counter. Boots, stop that, you're not supposed to be in here. She laughs as though I've told a joke. That's a frightfully pretty flower. Calendula Inca maritima, if I'm not mistaken. Never cease to amaze me, Boots. How on earth did you know that? Why, I make it my business to know about all rare and valuable works of art. Art? Why not? It's been created like a sculpture or a painting. Marigolds are true artists in the garden. I wonder if they had something to do with this. It's so unusual, even in the naturally swampy habitat. To have it growing here in the forest is very out of the ordinary. Yes, its properties are extraordinary too, human. Oh my goodness. Clear my throat again. Well, I'm quite new to botanical science, so I probably don't know the half of it. Why don't you fill me in? Though I'm always happy to facilitate your learning, human, I simply can't stay here a moment longer. The air is so stale, don't you find?
I ignore her sideways glare and upturned nose. Let's go to the beach and drink some coconut water. Tell you everything you need to know. Suits, I'm not going anywhere until I finish this. Don't be ridiculous. You can tinker about in here any time, but the sun will be gone in an hour or two. Not tinkering, this is my job. If I don't get it done, the professor will want to know why. Yeah, because you were drinking with a cat. Duh. Then explain to him you had better things to do. Snooty Booty, I won't tell you again. If he catches you here, Popper will cage you. Careful with that flower, human. It doesn't do to inhale that fragrance too deeply. Turn to ask why and see her flounce out, knocking the beaker with a swish of her tail as she does. Did that on purpose. She's gone, leaving me to clean up the broken glass. Cats, man. Come to the forest to gather my thoughts. This morning I noticed another change in my appearance. Until now it's been easy to cover up my transition. Just keep on top of removing the excess body hair. Even the stub of a tail that appeared a few days ago hasn't been a problem. Who'd see it? This new development is definitely a turning point. How am I going to explain the fact that my pupils have turned into vertical slits? Context? Can't risk anyone seeing me like this. I'm going to hide out for a while and see what happens. You're going to turn into a cat. That's what's going to happen. Maybe tell somebody? I don't know, just a hunch. Here, spread it there. The shade is perfect. She's indicating a small spot in the sand beneath a large palm tree for a midday nap. I begin to spread the old blanket I've been dragging behind me. It's the one I used to have on my bunk when I lived in a tent. That memory's beginning to fade a little around the edges. Still feel conflicted. I still recall how conflicted I felt, though. I knew I wanted to be with Snooty, but I had a strong urge to keep working on the antidote. Eventually, the decision was made for me. I found it too difficult to remember things in the lab. I kept making mistakes. Then I just sort of allowed myself to sink into my transition. It was quite gentle, and the reward was worth any problems. Oh my god, look at us, we're cute. Aw, we're an adorable little cat. Yes, this bit of shade is perfect, just like you. But really, Snoots, I don't know why you need this old thing. The sand is so soft and warm. Also, it creeps me out a bit. It reminds me. For goodness sakes, Grosspitz, you've been a cat for 5 minutes and already you know what's best for us. I remind you that you have fur to protect your skin, but mine is exposed and far more delicate. Suppress a giggle. Yes, of course, my love. You have skin like the wings of a butterfly. Yes, and I have no idea why that amuses you so. Just happy. Make me happy. You could make me very happy right now. Name it, there's nothing I wouldn't do for you. Really ought to be more mindful of those rash declarations. I mean it, just name it, anything. Fortunately, I have a very kind and humble nature, so I shan't take advantage of your simplicity. All I want is that you fan me with a palm leaf. Yeah, that'll be real easy without thumbs. Look around until I can find one I can comfortably curl my tail around. Cats don't have, like, prehensile tails. I don't know how that's gonna work. This is nearly as easy as it used to be. But practice makes perfect, my dear. Settle down in the peace and quiet of the afternoon, me gently wafting the palm leaf over a snoozing Snoots. Much more blissful could life be. I'm half tempted to warn the new research assistant just to throw in the towel from the start and join us. Suppose they have their own journey's end. I'm so glad I found mine. Okay, I guess. What, I'm confused. Did we win? I guess we won, right? What happens if we continue? Oh, so you just pick another researcher and then you just keep going, huh? Oh, okay, that's kind of clever. Alright. Can't back out now, though, can I? No. Who do we want to be? Guess we'll just go on through the list, right? Should be Grosspitz too. Oh, you can't put numbers. Darn. Oh, we can't. Oh, it can't even be that long. Rust 2. Just go with that. That works. There's a distinct lack of, like, cat noises in this game. Like, there was that one and the occasional other ones. All right, we'll leave it there. Actually, we'll stop right here. We're at about 2 hours, and we'll pick this up later in the week with a new researcher, and we'll see how they handle the fact that someone has been here before us. I'm really curious how this is going to go and what's going to happen. I guess this means we're going to have to play through the game 6 times, though. Like, finish all 6 chapters to figure out what the secret is. I think the secret is that Professor Pulper is evil, but that might take us a while to get to it. But yeah, we'll end it there for now. We did 1 route. We got to romance the Sphinx cat, get that out of the way. They kind of unsettle me. I don't know. This is strange so far. It's silly, but maybe not as silly as it could have been. I wish they had just kind of leaned into it a bit more. But anyway, I'm still enjoying it regardless. And whether you were here live or you happen to watch this VOD later on down the road, I hope you're enjoying it too. And until next time, have a good one.